Bitcoin is still almost at $35,000 as I'm recording this, and my social media feeds are pretty quiet. There's no euphoria, people aren't talking about massive bull markets, and this is a really good sign because that is what you want to see when the markets are going to continue higher. When everyone is euphoric, then it could signal some sort of local top. So let's dive into some charts and let me share my thoughts on what I think the market is doing and what we can expect in the weeks ahead. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe down below, follow my channel, follow my page. And if you want to join my VIP community for the rest of this month, I'm still holding a special offer. The lowest price with the most amount of bonuses. The link is in the description down below. Full 60-day money-back guarantee. So come and check it out. Worst case, you change your mind and get your member feedback in full. Best case, you learn a ton, you join an awesome community, and you have an insane amount of success in 2024. So let me start out with this. Bring up the popular Wall Street cheat sheet. If you haven't seen this before, you should definitely look at this time to time, or actually have it maybe printed out and on your wall or by your computer, because market cycles generally do follow this sort of sentiment. Okay, so we have had the insane bull market in 2021. We had all that euphoria, we had complacency, and we had the whole drop all the way back down in 2022. And for most of 2023, we have seen this bottoming / accumulation pattern kind of playing out. So it is always kind of a guess of where we are in the cycle, but you know, if you do follow these markets and you look at both the charts, the price action, and the overall sentiment and the time that has passed, it gives you some sort of decent idea of where we are. Now, obviously, we had the bull run, we had the drop all the way back down, and we definitely went through a period of anger and depression, especially where it's like, okay, well, crypto is all the way back down. It's been going sideways for a year. You know, that's kind of the depression phase where most people that were still in it, that hadn't capitulated yet, they got washed out, they got capitulated. And what happens throughout this bear market cycle is when we drop in price, every single rally, right, whether it's a small one or a larger one, gets sold off. So you get conditioned in this way of thinking that every time the price goes up, oh, it's just going to make a lower high and then it's going to come back down again. And especially also during this period of depression where it just seems so demotivating, right? Every single time it rallies, you start to think you have some sort of hope and it just comes back down. So obviously this really mainly applies to most people who are over-invested or who bought in at the top, who are just so beat down by the bear market cycle that every time it goes up, that last little bit of hope that you have gets knocked out of you because it just drops again and again and again and again until eventually we get to the point of disbelief. Now, this is where everyone has been so conditioned to every single rally being sold off again and going lower once again that people just refuse to believe that this time it is different, that this time may actually be the start of a bullish trend. And that is where most people are just watching, okay? It's like, oh, it's a sucker's rally. The market's going to come back down. I'm not buying now. I'll wait to buy back lower. And then we flip back to the left side of the chart here. After disbelief, it continues going. We don't get the drop. It just continues going higher. It makes new highs. And that's when we get to the stage of hope. Recovery is possible, and then it keeps going higher and higher. People start getting excited. They're now believing this rally is real. We are here. Let's buy in. And then it keeps going higher. Belief, thrill, until the cycle repeats again. We get max euphoria, and that's when everyone thinks, oh, we're going to be rich. A lot of people are buying in towards the euphoria phase, and that is actually the top. It drops, but people don't believe it because everything's just been going up for months and months and months, the inverse of the bear market, and then it makes a lower high, and then the cycle repeats again. Now, at this point in time, I suspect we are in a disbelief phase. Okay, we've had 2 years of bear market. We had the price drop. We had almost a year of sideways also. And we've had that conditioning, what I've talked about, that every time each rally goes lower. Now, we are currently almost at 35,000. We've been there for quite a while now, and it hasn't dropped yet. And people are still thinking, okay, well, it's going to go back down. We're going to go back into the low 20s. And while anything is obviously always possible, all the charts, the high time frame signals are pointing towards us being in completely bullish territory. I've made videos over this over the past weeks. I continue to update this. We are above the 3-day 50 moving average. We're above, I'm talking about Bitcoin here, we're above the 50 and the 200 week moving average. And that is full-blown bull territory. We have a potential Bitcoin ETF being approved in the next few weeks or next few months. We have the Bitcoin halving that's happening in April next year, which has historically kicked off all major bull market cycles. Everything is pointing towards us being here bullish. The trends, the charts, the cycles, it's all looking positive. So, in my opinion, people are in disbelief. And that's why I'm saying also my social media feeds, I don't see much euphoria. I don't see many people getting excited. The people who know what they're doing, the people who've been through the past cycles, the people who are really good traders, they're also talking about this. But that is the minority. The majority of people, especially retail investors too, regular people, they're still lost interest in crypto while we're back at almost $35,000 per Bitcoin. So that is why I think looking at this chart, we are potentially at the disbelief phase where people are thinking this is a sucker's rally. And we get to the hope phase. I believe that would probably be somewhere around the $48,000 to $50,000 level Bitcoin. That is where people start to believe, hey, maybe this is a bull market again. And then once we get to optimism, that might be 60 to 70,000, so almost new all-time highs. That is, in my opinion, when most people will start to get interested. We'll start seeing it on the news. You know, media is talking about, oh, Bitcoin's back above 50,000, Bitcoin's 60,000, bull market is back, etc., etc. And then we get to that last phase, the euphoria phase that we're all looking forward to, because that's when things go nuts. Everyone gets invested in it. We're seeing coins do 10, 20, 30x in short periods of time. There's new narratives, maybe NFTs, maybe AI, metaverse, whatever the next narrative is going to be. And this phase of the market probably lasts around 6 months or so is my guess. So I think we're somewhere here around the disbelief phase. Obviously, this could change, right? But that is only at invalidation. In my opinion, I've shared this many times on my charts. When we get back below the 200-week moving average on Bitcoin or below the 3-day 50 moving average, currently around 28,500. If we get back below there, then this bullish scenario is maybe in question and we need to reassess. But as long as we're above there, I am full-blown bullish and I'm expecting 2024 to be another bull market. So with that out the way, let's take a look at the dollar index because obviously that is very, very important. Now I've shared this also many times in the past. If you're new, let me explain it again. This is the weekly chart. The US dollar index is a measurement of the US dollar versus a basket of other currencies and basically showing strength or weakness of the US dollar. Now, what is very interesting is that over the past 2 bull market cycles, there has been almost a perfect inverse correlation between the dollar index and our crypto bull market. So as you can see here marked on the chart, at the beginning of 2017, the dollar index started a multi-month downtrend, meaning the dollar getting weaker, and that resulted in our entire euphoric bull market phase of 2017. Then when it bottomed, the dollar index, and went up for a period of like 2 years, you can see that's when we had our bear market. Same thing happened again in 2020. Multi-month downtrend on the dollar index gave us our 2020 bull market. And when it bottomed, you can see here in May of 2021, that's when most coins peaked actually in the 2021 crypto bull market, and dollar index went on this massive run. We had our entire bear market. So we had this drop here in 2023, and recently, the last couple of months, we had this bounce. Now, what I'm looking for is, again, the start of a multi-month downtrend in the dollar index. If we get that, the chance of us getting another crypto bull market and potentially a melt up in stocks, gold, euro, US dollar, and GBP, US dollar, that increases a lot. So what we're looking for here is, you can see, when we get back below the 50-week moving average, that is really when the bull market kind of kicks off and there's more confirmation. So we had that here. You can see from May 2017, we had a strong surge in crypto. You can go and check that on the charts. Here in 2020, at about June, so that was when we had the halving. We got that confirmation here on the dollar index, and we had multiple months of upside in crypto. So what we're really looking for here now is to get back below 103 on the dollar index with a weekly close, and then hopefully continue this downtrend over here. If we get back below there, who knows, maybe somewhere to the low, somewhere like 94, 95 on the dollar index, and then look for that. If that bottoms somewhere, say middle, say Q2 or Q3 of 2024, when I'm expecting crypto to peak, if that coincides with a bottoming of the dollar index, that is probably going to be time to just sell everything in crypto, obviously depending on whatever is happening at the time. We'll deal with that then, but that is the broader picture. Now, the only question right now is, has this already started here? Or is this just going to drop first, then still go up to this fair value gap and the fib golden pocket and then drop? That remains to be seen, because if we do get another leg higher in dollar index, we might see that pullback in crypto first before that happens. So that could be a bit of trickery. We'll have to wait and see. But ideally, we're just waiting for that confirmation of a weekly close below the 50-week moving average here at about 103 on the dollar index. If we get that, I think we get confirmation that we really start to see more upside in the crypto markets. So just a quick look at the weekly chart here of Bitcoin. I'll make a more detailed update on Monday. But just want to show you something here real quick also is look at the strength here that we've had. And this is purely just the 50-week moving average. You can see what has happened. We've had both our massive crypto bull markets when the price is above the 50 moving average. And it is right now. That's why I say also that would be ultimate line in the sand, about 26,000. The 200-week moving average is in red here. We're above there. So I would also look at that as maybe an earlier sign, about 28.5K. As long as price is above there, I think we're in full-blown bull market territory based on all the other things, so the chart, but also the fundamentals, the cycles, all that kind of stuff that's lining up, that we are in for potentially multiple months of upside, maybe 6 to 9 months of complete bull market up only. If we don't have some sort of black swan like we had in 2020, we could be looking here like this, just a massive run into about Q2 or Q3 when they cut rates potentially for the first time. That's kind of the expectation. And then, you know, after that, probably a massive bear market, both in global and financial markets, in stocks, but also in crypto. So if we get that, it will be interesting. And for all the people who are still potentially here in disbelief, saying, you know, this is a sucker's rally, not yet. Sure, maybe ultimately time is going to tell. But again, we are full-blown bull territory on the chart based on these MAs. Look at this. I just want to show you this, okay? This over here in the red is the 2020 price action projected forward. Now, who knows if that's going to happen? Maybe it doesn't. But what if it does? Because we know from just the previous history, this is fact, when the crypto bull market kicks in and things move, you can see it's right here in front of you. This is what Bitcoin has done in the past. It went from 10,000 to 65,000. You can see over here in a period of September 2020 to basically April. So that's like 7 months. It went up by $55,000. So who knows if that repeats again, but the potential is there. And if that does somehow play out, you can see we're looking here at October, project that forward by 6 months, that right into the Bitcoin halving. What if we have this massive, massive pump leading into the Bitcoin halving less than 6 months away? What if we go somewhere, maybe first the Fibonacci golden pocket here by about 50,000, but what if we end up at the halving somewhere around between $50,000 and $70,000? That would be insane. Most people would be sidelined. You know, you're watching this, so hopefully not you, but most people who aren't paying attention, they will be sidelined. And by that time, you know, it's the Bitcoin halving, maybe a potential ETF approval. It starts getting on the news. It starts getting on the media, 50, 60, 70,000, and people start thinking, oh, wow, I need to start buying. But what if at that point, we only have a few months left? What if by the time of the halving, we're actually at like 50 to 70,000, and we just get this crazy melt up kind of phase where it's not like 2020, where we have this double top, but instead more like 2017, where it just goes straight up, kind of parabolic, and we find a peak somewhere, say 3 to 6 months after the halving, right? So that would be somewhere between, let's say, July and October of next year. And maybe we see 100,000, 120,000 if that plays out in that way. And by that time, everyone's thinking, oh, the 4-year cycle is still on. 2025 is going to be nuts. We're seeing 500,000, $1 million Bitcoin. But by that time, it may have already peaked. That is still kind of the theory I'm leaning towards right now. Obviously, as things progress and as the charts show us more information, I'll adjust and I'll continue to share my thoughts there. But what if it plays out like this? Are you prepared for it? So if you want more of my thoughts, my guidance, my updates, access to me in Discord, access to the community of more than 2,000 members, now is the best time to join. Not only because it's my Black Friday special offer till the end of the month, but also because timing-wise, this might be just in time before the next major bull market kicks off. And if it plays out in this way, this might just be the last cycle of its kind in this way. I don't expect this to continue repeating indefinitely. So if we get this bull market, make the most out of it. And if you play your cards right, it could be very, very life-changing. So if you want to join me inside VIP, special offer link in the description down below for the rest of this month. Smash the like button if you found this valuable. And as always, Leave a comment if you have any thoughts, if you have any questions. What do you think is going to happen? Are we on track for this scenario? Please leave a comment. I would love to hear what you think, and I will see you in the next video.